Damn, playing guitar and shit.
2 and 2. 2 and 2.
I'm done faded. Doing something fated. I'm doing a C-test. Pretty good do. Little fit do. Just every time it gets a little bit more like,
a little bit more intense. A little bit more down with the flow.
It started off with like I am TNT, and then at the end it's just like
more dead deal in the flow.
With European metal having this greater success rate, most local metal acts cite overseas bands as their major influences. So instead of having a distinct Australian metal culture, what we have is a mashup of overseas cultures in history in our music, our lyrics, and even our clothes.
In Europe, a lot of the metal there is derived from the culture that they come from. In Australia, we really don't have a lot of culture and we really don't have a lot of history. And for that reason, music sort of stays the same. It stays very poppy. Whatever's played on the radio is usually what everyone's listening to at a certain time. Yeah, so I think it's mostly just culturally based as well.
Well, generally folk metal can range from drinking beer with your friends around the fire to worshipping Odin. But generally what we do is in Night Quest, we don't even really sing about folky things. We're more historical medieval stuff mixed with fantasy elements. Our bass player Sean is a big history buff, so he writes a lot of lyrics that are kind of historically accurate infused with their own fantasy. Trollhaugen is more rural sort of thing, like we sing about kind of old Norse times with trolls and stuff, so it's again a bit of historical with fantasy elements. I think there is a definite unavoidable second-hand kind of quality that just because it's a new genre in Australia and like you said we don't have that history, we don't really have any ideologies kind of in our music. There's no political or religious message, it's more telling tales, if you will.
A lot of people, especially the more true metal fans, have a bit of a misconception of our music because we sort of have that folk background. Whereas we're more like a brutal sort of, it's a war metal style. People don't expect it to be as brutal as it is. There's still a lot of fury and aggression. Yeah, I think it's just war themed. Like it's mainly like all about battles and killing on the battlefield and, you know, being born into royalty and stuff like that. We've all got a pretty strong rooted black metal background and stuff, so we all grew up with black metal, we've all been in black metal bands and stuff, whereas they wear their corpse paint and dress. They don't want people to be taken, they don't want to be taken lightly by people, and we want to put across the same message. We don't want to be taken like just some other band.
A lot of the times when it comes to metal bands in Australia, because we're so far removed, all we do is sort of take influences from other bands and just replicate them. So a lot of bands just end up sounding exactly like things that have come before. One of the things that we try to do is try and take, because we listen to so many different forms of music, not just replicating, you know, Dimmu or Behemoth or whatever. We try and take those elements from the other forms of music and create something new with that.
It's unavoidable though. You will get a lot of bands that they'll hear a certain song and they'll be like, oh, I really want to make a song like that. It's unavoidable the fact that you're going to get bands that are going to sound the same as a different band. Like there's a lot of bands that sound exactly like Children of the Bottom, or there's a lot of bands that sound like Dimmu. It's trying to like take, because everyone pretty much copies each other in a certain way, but it's trying to take the good elements of something you enjoy and try to replicate that in your own way.